Welcome back to Game-Based Learning in the World Language Classroom, the why, what, and how. We're on section 3 of my book, The How. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. If you want to talk to me about these games, help me come up with new ones, meet me at Roxem, the Minecraft Education Ambassadors, or the Minecraft Teachers Lounge, the Duolingo Educators Network, or at studio-nemo.com. We're on chapter 23 of my book, Writing Games. I'm going to split it into 2 sections, trying to keep them under 10 minutes apiece for you. So we read a ton in my classes. I love to read. That's why I know so many languages, because I read a lot. We usually start off with a folk tale or a comic book or a short story that I read aloud to my classes. Or we do some FVR, free voluntary reading, also known as SSR, silent sustained reading, and I've just got tons and tons and tons of books all over the place. After the students read, I really want them applying what they learned. So I'll often give them a quick write. I always give them a quick write, unless it's a turn and talk with Kagan chips. And I'm going to make a whole nother episode on what I do with free voluntary reading, because I've got a lot of things I'm doing with it now. But, I'm reading to the class. I want them to show me that they're paying attention, and that they need to play with the words, or they're just going to go in one ear and out the other, right? So here's what does Tantan realize? Where's the corn? And a lot of times I give the instructions in English so the students don't get confused. And we do a quick write, okay? And you'll notice I'm going to point out this in a moment. When there's something wrong, I just circle it. I don't say what's wrong. I don't write the answer. I just circle it. Look, students aren't going to get any better at writing until they write. So you need to give them tons and tons and tons of different opportunities to write in different scenarios, different ways. Yes, we draw a lot because memory is visual and spatial. So I do have the students draw a lot while they're writing. But they're always fun, silly little things. Here, we read a story where this guy had a crush on a girl, so I had them write the pickup line. Students aren't going to get any better at writing until they write. But if every single time they write, you point out you're wrong, and that's going to raise their affective filter. And then it's going to be harder to get them motivated. So let me show you what I do. First of all, I've got so much to talk about writing. I'm all over the place, I know. One more time, students aren't going to get any better at writing until they write. Writing has to be frequent and low stakes. Your students have to have multiple opportunities, and you need to not be enslaved by grading. So look, multiple opportunities. We were drawing maps. Here was a typical quick write, and I let them choose what their subject was. Here, they were just drawing people with clothing and describing the clothing and what they wore yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I said, describe yourself. So they did it as a comic. That was great. This was invitation to our quinceañera. This was another pickup line. This is prepositions of location we're working on, but I had them drawing out the prepositions of location and writing a sentence about it. This was a little skit, another invitation, draw what just happened in the story and explain it, make up a new animal in the story, another new animal story, that was a good one, draw what she sees on her cell phone, another map, I don't even know what was going on here, that was really funny, tell me what makes you a good student. So just different opportunities. All right. So activating your students' long-term memory. If you give them all the answers, if you spoon feed them, if you basically do the work for them, they're not going to remember anything. So when you grade, just circle what's wrong and hand it back to them and let them think about it. And you can see always when I do this, I give the student the opportunity to fix it and turn it back in. Now, what the students don't know is that this was just like full points anyway. Just do it and I give you full points. But, they're so Pavlovian. They see there's something wrong. They want to fix it. you make more neural connections when you make a mistake than when you get it right. So this student never had another problem with, they had put S's on all of this. They said, Bob have math class. Fred have science class. Okay, so all I had to do was circle that ending of the word, and then they knew, oh, I used the wrong conjugation, and they fixed it, and then they never had that problem again. Here was a student mixing up is and has. Mark has big or Mark is big. All I need to do, I was just kind of walking around the room, working the room as they were writing, and I just pointed at what he was doing and didn't even say anything, and he was like, oh, and he fixed it. So grading is super fast. Honestly, it takes me 7 minutes to grade 136 students. Just by, I mean, it's like an exit ticket. You're not supposed to, and they're not exit tickets because they're in the middle of the class, but you're not supposed to spend a long time on it, okay? I just look at it, oh, this is wrong, circle, 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 and you can see half of these, like this one, you're like, what's wrong with that? Why'd you circle it? Because initially they had something else there. Maybe they had an N, maybe they had an E, although I think this student had an E. This student had a D here, and all I did was circle it. This student had maybe I don't remember, a D or something. This student hasn't corrected it yet, because normally, I don't sit down and photocopy everything. I just had a stack. I happen to have a stack, and I photocopied it for this. But I just circle it, maybe give them a clue. Like here, I drew an arrow underneath. They left out the verb, so I just wrote verb. But, it doesn't take that long to go through everything and just circle it. You're not writing a treatise about it, okay? Let the students do the brain work of, what did I get wrong? Because that's going to make their neural connections, and it means next time you grade, you have less to circle. And next time you grade, until finally they're turning them in and you have nothing to circle. All right, I'm going to pause here. Yay, kept it under 10 minutes. And I'm going to do more writing games on the next one. It's actual games.